Actually, the music we picked, I can't remember this music. Is that what we picked?
Well, yes. It was what's left over after the waterfall.
Oh, Galen's staying with us today. All right, good. All right.
I was invited into
All right.
Jim's segment.
Excellent. All right. Jim George is here. He's going to answer your techie questions and all that. And Galen is here to help out. And Robert will be here in just a second. Good morning, Jim. How you doing?
Good morning. So we again want to talk about safety issues. Make sure you don't leave things plugged in overnight with 14 plugs plugged into one outlet. Very, very serious before we get started.
Yeah. So I have a techie question for you.
Sure.
We've never touched on this subject before.
Wow.
Telescopes. Do you know anything about telescopes?
Very little.
Okay.
I won one time in a contest, and it was very large and everything, and my daughter moved to Boone, North Carolina, and since she lives on a mountain, I gave it to her to look at the stars.
That's cool.
She says it's fantastic.
That's cool.
So there's a telescope that has a broadcasting feature for your Bluetooth.
Yeah.
For your app. So instead of putting your eye to the eyepiece, it puts the image on your
right.
on your, what do you call it? Tablet.
Right.
Your tablet. Yeah.
So it slings it to that. Yeah, they used to have them where you could hook a camera to them remotely. Mm-hmm.
Well, that must be what it is.
That way you can take a picture of the stars going across the sky. But now you're saying it slings it to an iPad.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
I guess.
Fantastic.
That's what I was going to
gift.
ask you about. Have you ever heard of this?
No, but doesn't mean it's not out there.
Yeah. That's almost something I would get.
Jim, I was going to ask you a question. That I was watching a video where this person had their cell phone plugged in, and it was in their bed, and the bed caught fire from the heat. Do you know anything? I'm sure that somebody's going to have to solve that problem, because I'm sure there's a lot of people who have fallen asleep with their bed, with their phone in their bed. But I mean, and then they actually demonstrated how it happened, and apparently, I guess in those instructions that nobody reads, it actually says you should not put your phone around flammable material.
Right. You shouldn't cover it up. If you're on the phone for 2 or 3 minutes, or maybe even 7 to 10 while you're waiting, that phone gets hot.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, you imagine if it was in bed, wrapped up in, linen or whatever it was. That would be something else, man. That would be.
Sweet. That's the greatest thing he's ever given me.
What is it?
A commissary pass.
A commissary pass. That's right. I just got a free grilled chicken sandwich from WOCA.
Wow. It pays to be on air.
Well, I can't say it's a great. He gives me a microphone.
Cell phones are dangerous. When they first came out, they said on the back of them, intrinsically safe. And you had to look that up to find out what.
I don't know what that means.
And it says, and it's like a broad spectrum antibiotic. In other words, it's all things being considered, it's safe.
All right.
All things being considered.
Do you think a case would help that, or do you think it would amplify
they do help it. Yeah.
Do they?
Because I notice on mine, I'm on a lot, and I'm just always on the phone because people call me all hours, and I'm on for long. Like I did a conference call to China last night for 4 hours.
Did you understand any of it?
Well, they had an interpreter in between.
They do.
Yeah, and it was very interesting, but that thing got hot.
Could you hear them?
Oh, yes.
So I think it just sounded
It's
like...
where you call in a toll-free number.
Right.
You enter your PIN. Freeconferencecall.com.
Right.
I mean, how bad is that, man? Free.
Now, you couldn't find a woman in America that could talk to you?
Well, she was in America.
4 hours. So we have union rates.
The interpreter was in California, and the company I was dealing with was in China.
Oh, okay.
Can't you Skype, though? I mean, like, do it on your computer?
You could Skype, but then, of course, you got to sit in front of the computer and blah,
You don't
blah.
really want to see the other person that you're going to marry.
That's right.
I'm kidding.
Hello.
I'm kidding.
I hear. Oh boy! We were just discussing outside of the radio that the presents that need to be returned after Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there must be a few out there that everybody, that bed and brew.
No, that's not in return. The bath and brew.
Did you see that? That's a nice gift.
Here you go.
Is it?
I would say.
With 12 gallons? I don't know.
12 gallons of water to make 1 cup.
I can't do 12 gallons. I'm sorry.
No, it makes 1 cup for every 12 gallons of water.
Well, that means you're showering with the other water. What that means.
Oh, I know. Hey, Larry, it's my gift. I'm already an expert in it. I was going to ask you, and I think that's important, is what are the if you know, I mean, a lot of people get electronics for Christmas that they either already have or...
you don't have this already, do you?
No, that's a unique one. I mean, is there anything in particular that you need to take into account if you're going to return something that's like a phone or?
Well, the thing to take into account is that everybody's doing Wi-Fi, and
Right.
you can overload your house Wi-Fi really
Yeah.
easy. So if you have, you have 3 children?
I have 2.
2 children.
That I'm aware of,
And
yeah.
they have cell phones?
Absolutely.
Okay, and your wife has a cell phone?
Yes.
And you have a cell phone?
And we all have a tablet.
Do you have any Philippine children?
That's touchy.
And there's a limit to how much bandwidth, 802.11n or even G can stream. In other words, these wireless networks.
Yeah.
And so what happens is someone has to get off in order for someone to actually get on and start downloading a music or downloading a song or a video.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Because
that's
you're overloading the house.
what is a good. So, for example, because I got one about 7 months ago, I got a new Wi-Fi router, and so on the packaging, it tells you what it can handle. Is that a good guide?
That's a good guide.
Because it's amazing the price difference. So for the one we got, it had it tells you the number of tablets or the number of laptops that can be online, and then the next jump, it's like $60 in between each one of these levels.
Right.
And I don't want to spend a ton of money, but then again, I don't want it because my old one it would just shut down.
Right.
So
It
the
would shut
Wi-Fi
down.
signal would just go to 0.
Just go to 0.
Oh, wow. See,
And
I
it
never
reset-
knew that.
Then it resets
Well, that's
itself.
because Doug steals yours. Doug would tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why the more expensive ones actually have dual band radios
Right.
in them.
Right. And
So
then
it's really like 2 Wi-Fis in one box.
And the reason I had to get a new Wi-Fi, not only was it shut down, but I think my entire neighborhood, everybody with a Wi-Fi got attacked. And so I came back from one day and my Wi-Fi, the code was zeroed out.
Oh.
So is that a possibility that somebody could come through and?
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, did you have just a very easy password like Galen?
No, it was a 10-digit code.
Wow.
And it was pretty random.
Okay. Oh, so was it the code on back of the Wi-Fi?
No.
Okay, so you created your own code.
Yeah.
Because my wife put the code on for our house. What's
On the default?
On the default code.
Yeah, no, I changed it.
All right.
And so the new one I bought, it had a 24-digit code.
Oh, wow.
So
Very good.
Because I was worried about that very thing, somebody coming in. I mean, if somebody gets to my phone, there's not a lot there, but if you get to my personal computer, that's everything. So I was worried. Is that a real concern? I know when you log onto like a Wi-Fi spot at McDonald's, whatever you're logging onto, somebody can tap into
Everybody
what you
can
have.
see it. And there's that warning that pops up saying you're entering a public domain, and keep aware that people
Wow,
can see
wow.
everything on your computer.
Did you guys hear about the ransomware warnings? And I got a story to tell you about my own personal.
What is it?
Ransomware. Like instead of malware, it's called ransomware.
Where they keep it and they.
Let me tell you what
have to
happened to
pay
me.
get it?
Here's what happened to me. You know, we have songs. We're happen to have songs. And whenever we've copyrighted songs, we've gone the traditional paper, put it in an envelope, send it to Washington, D.C., and it's done. So I said, there must be a way to do this online nowadays. Well, sure enough, there is. So you go to the website for the Library of Congress. Long story short, you have to unclick the thing that stops pop-ups. I have a Mac.
Right.
And I couldn't do, something wasn't working, and then you click the little question mark, and it says, okay, you probably have your pop-ups blocked. So unclick that, and you'll be able to do it. Sure enough, it worked. Next day, and I forgot to re-click it, or I just thought, what's the harm in I'll just leave it like that. Next day, I had a bunch of screens on my screen, whatever, went to Windows on my screen, and a pop-up that said, put in your ID here so that we can unlock if you do it 3 times. If you don't do it for 3 times, we'll lock up every file in your computer. What? So they wanted some kind of password. I don't have a password with these people, whoever they are. So I turned it off. Just to tell you the rest of it.
Right.
Yeah.
The way I remedied this, in addition to buying one of those programs.
Right. Antivirus type,
What's
anti-cookie type.
it get? What's the thing called I got?
McAfee?
No, it's
One of those.
Oh, I can't remember. It's
got a funny name.
What you got? Yeah.
They recommended it at Best Buy. They said this is the best
okay.
one. So
Well, there's a Bass. There's all kinds.
Norton?
no.
Oh, I don't want Norton.
Oh, it was or Tursky or something.
Okay.
Tursky. Anyway.
All right.
But before that, I remedied actually because when you turned off the computer and then turned
Right.
it back on,
Right.
there was a little margin of time, like just 2 seconds maybe, where that window wasn't popping up.
Right.
So I took that 2 Windows second and quickly clicked on the thing that said preferences, and then quickly clicked on the thing that said block all pop-ups, and it worked again.
Right, right.
Isn't that amazing?
Right. Do you have a cookie cleaner?
I used to have a cookie cleaner.
Yeah, you just need to do cookie cleaner like once a month.
Delegate it.
Well, that happened to a police department too. Larry had said.
Yes!
He had a story from a police department, and they paid the fee.
They would be
They
in
got
charge.
locked
This
up.
was on Kim Commando. You know Kim Commando?
Sure.
Yeah.
$300. All their files were locked up. They paid the ransom just so they could open up their computer.
You know,
Give me a break.
It's
they
amazing.
did.
Let's take like Sony, a huge company like Sony that can be attacked, online, and the North Koreans, and it's amazing how dependent we are on this electronics and technical aspect, but the security, most people are completely unaware of it.
Right. I don't know how to do it, Galen. You might know, but a friend of mine, whenever he buys a software, whatever it is, QuickBooks or whatever, he does not load it on his computer. He loads it on a separate hard drive.
I've heard this where they keep all the data. You can run the software on your computer, but all the data is stored on a detachable hard drive.
Oh, that's
Right. And then, so if you spill coffee or water on your laptop and you have to get a new one, you don't have to go to trying to find your codes and everything.
Yep.
You just hook up the external hard drive and bam, there it is.
Yeah. And I've actually gotten in the habit of storing all my files and all my tax returns and everything onto that hard
There you
drive.
go.
And if you're going to do that, do not keep it plugged into your computer.
Right.
Because it can be infected
Good
just
idea.
as easily.
We do have a phone call. Good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. A topics back, you were talking about returned Christmas gifts, and Alan Sherman did a takeoff on the 12 Days of Christmas involving returning a bunch of unwanted Christmas gifts, and it's quite funny. I believe I sent it to you from iTunes a couple of years ago.
Yeah, sounds familiar.
Yeah, just have a good morning, all.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you.
But we're going to be on the radio, the day after Christmas, right?
Yeah.
I'd love to hear from the people,
What you bringing back,
the things they're getting ready to return.
What is the best antivirus or malware software out there, in your opinion, Jim?
I don't think there is a best, but I'm a big proponent of free antivirus. I mean,
Good.
I've got Avast, I've got AVG, but I
Okay.
have their free versions. One thing you do not want to have if you have it on your computer is Norton Utilities.
Okay.
That will slow your computer
Really?
down to a crawl.
That's what the guy at Best Buy told me. I went to look it up. What they sold me was Kaspersky. Kaspersky.
And you paid for that?
Yep.
So that's one of those Russian guys. He got your money anyway, right?
That's funny.
I'd rather pay for it.
The one I've used for several
I have
years
one.
is Spybot.
Yeah.
So and it'll do the scan, but so what you're saying is variety is the
I
way
do.
to
I
go.
have like 4 antiviruses on mine, and then I do this clam wave aware, clam CLAM, and then ware WARE, and it takes about an hour, but it goes to every single bit of information in your computer and cleans it,
Wow.
and it's free.
And you have another phone call. Good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, he may have just answered part of that. It was my understanding that if you had more than one antivirus on there, they kind of, conflicted with each other. But my question was that on 2 different occasions, I have a Lenovo laptop, and over a period of a couple of years, on 2 different occasions, I asked to make sure if they said Windows Defender was all the stuff that I needed, all the protection I needed. And so that's all I've had, except that if you download something, you wind up getting, McAfee or something thrown in there, and I wind up having to delete it. But what do you think about just using Windows Defender and nothing else?
Windows
mean,
Defender
it
is a
worked
great
for 3
software.
years.
It's a good software. I use it also, but the other ones I keep running in the background. What I mean by that is they're installed and they're sitting there idle, and then whenever I before I leave the computer for the end of the day, I'll run those 2. I'll run Avast, and when Avast is done, I may run AVG, and inevitably they'll pick up something that the Defender did not.
Yeah, and the good thing is they pick up different things.
Yeah.
Right? Because as we've talked about, it's hard to keep up with all the ways and all the malware that's out there and all the spyware. And so what they do is they'll each pick up one at a later
It's
time.
interesting because I thought the same thing she thought, that if you had more than one, they would be conflicting with each other.
What I do is I schedule a scan every 24 hours on my computer, and so at like 2 o'clock one will run, and then one will run at 3 in the morning.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah, that's fine.
and that's the way to do it. And I think variety is definitely the way to go.
Yeah. And you'll be
Well, I like the idea that the Windows Defender. Hello?
Yes.
Yes.
Are you there?
Yeah, we're here. We're here.
Oh, okay. I like the idea the Windows Defender came with the computer, and I figured Microsoft knows how to defend its own computer best.
Not so.
Right.
The worst defender.
Have you seen that Apple computer commercial? The thing is the reason that the Windows is attacked so much is because it's the most prevalent system.
Right.
And so
Right, my Mac never gets hit.
right, because the bad guys go after volume. So
Right.
what they'll do is they'll send something out there and they'll try to infect, 1 out of every 1,000 computers it hits. And so therefore it's an effective scheme. And so I think you need to have a broad spyware.
You could have stopped the
solution.
broad.
Yeah.
I almost
And
did.
you have to go into the control panel a lot too, and where the uninstall thing, and look and see what's been installed recently
Absolutely.
that you didn't install on.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
That's great advice.
Yeah, we do that all the time.
And
also.
back up your computer. Make sure you have a good backup system that's
Yeah.
online, so that
Right.
when your computer does crash, because let's be honest, it's going to crash.
Yeah, they all do.
It's just a matter of time, not So, and just make sure you have all that important stuff backed up.
Right.
Because the thing that
Right.
I'm most afraid of losing are the photos. So, that's what there's. You
Well,
have to
that's
have
the
that
other
back.
thing. I upload all my photos to the cloud, and then I delete them off the computer because they
Good.
take so much space
Absolutely.
up anyway.
That's right. Good. Very smart.
And the cool thing is these external hard drives that we're talking about are getting cheaper and cheaper.
Yeah.
There was a time when
Right.
to get a terabyte hard drive was $200. Now you can get them on eBay for
What's
like
a
40.
3 terabyte yesterday
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
Walmart.
Well, that
Yeah,
brings
3
up another,
terabytes. For
like
that brings up
$30?
another question.
Yeah.
I don't
Because I
remember
got
what-
one of those external
Yeah,
hard
listen.
drives, and it's backing up, and then it got full. Doesn't it it backs up 2 or 3 times a week, the same thing?
What-
Doesn't it kind of take away its stuff after a while?
Yeah, you can actually run. There's a software that you can run where it deletes all your duplicates.
The redundancy program.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's from the Office of
'Cause
Redundancy.
Okay.
That was a joke. That was a joke. So yeah, I would find one of those, and there's several software solutions for that.
Right. And on our servers in the office, we run Linux, of course,
Yep.
because no one wants to attack Linux.
No,
Right.
no.
The guy who invented, the internet, the university people, they wrote a book called Up All Night. And it seems to me that the hackers are up all night. How much time do they have on their hands
Well-
to sit down and...
Well, they live in India, so they're.
I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right
break.
there.
At least that's where their servers are. And again, they're making that's their living. They're
Yeah.
getting this information and selling it. And again, they're attacking millions and millions of computers at a time. Think about how many, and now you have to worry about your phone being hacked,
Right.
and getting malware on your phone. My son said, "Dad, you don't have." This is a true story. This is about 2 weeks ago. He said he was messing with my phone, and he said, "Dad, how do you not have a virus cleaner on your phone?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, "Look, I'm going to download this." And so he downloaded. He's 13.
Oh, wow.
He downloads it, and I'm like,
That's why.
there's no spyware or anything. There were 87 malware or spyware programs on
your
my
phone. Oh, wow.
Wow.
It
What's that
cleaned-
program? What's the program called? He downloaded.
It's called Clean something. I don't know.
Because I saw one
And so it does
advertised.
scheduled scans, and now, like every hour, it scans my phone. It is called.
That is cool. See, I saw one
know.
advertised.
It doesn't automatically.
for the Kindle, because I thought the Kindle can't be affected, but then I was reading an article that it can be.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name.
I don't know that either. But
It's called Clean Master.
Clean
Clean
Master.
Master.
And so it also went in and cleaned up all any old files I had,
Oh, wow.
and it makes it operate more. And
you pay
I'm like,
for it?
oh my god, no, it's free.
Oh wow.
You shouldn't pay for any of these. You really, because
What's
there's
the
so
thing
many.
with these virus guys? They just enjoy doing this.
Of course.
They put all this
Up
effort
all
towards
night.
doing something
This is,
worthwhile.
but again, this is what they do for a living. I mean, they
Make money out.
absolutely they sell all that data. All
This
that,
is an app. The Clean Master is an app.
yeah, and I would recommend you put it on your smartphone.
Yeah.
And I was amazed. I said, well, I'm like, what? Who's attacking my phone? He said, So every website that you go to, and there's a lot of, I have my bank account
They
on
probably
my
stayed
on my
away from you
phone.
because you like blood. They said, stay away from this guy. We don't know what he's
But I have my retirement program on my phone. I have my, and he goes, yeah, they can get all that.
Yep.
And so the thing is every time you don't think about logging into a Wi-Fi system on your cell phone as much, right? So when you go into McDonald's, and if you have your phone setting to Wi-Fi,
Right.
it'll automatically connect to your Wi-Fi.
Yep.
Now, everybody in that McDonald's can look in your data, and they have access to your entire phone.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I keep.
Absolutely.
What about things like Facebook where they ask the year you were born and the month? To me, that's just an extra identity thing.
Yeah,
more
right.
information
No, what
you
they're
give,
trying to do
where
there-
you live, where you went to school.
Yeah, what they're trying to do is capture as much data on you as possible for profiling, and then they can sell it to the advertisers.
You're right.
And so, and that's
So
what
I put down that I'm a male on a lot of
There you
things,
go.
and I wind up getting the spam mail for Viagra.
absolutely
I
right. and a lot of that, like Google has this whole campaign where they have AdWords, and so they'll look at your search history, they'll look at your buying preferences, they'll look at your age, and they will target ads for you.
Right.
And you can actually disable that if you go into the Google settings. So if you have
But
like
then
a
you
Gmail
get ads
account.
whatever they want to send you.
Absolutely.
And
So you could see stuff you want to see, or you could see stuff you don't want to see, but you're going to see ads.
Right.
So
yeah, because they're going to make money at this finally. It's
Yeah.
been free for years, and now they're going to make the money.
it's never really free. The advertisers still pay for it. There's a reason that Google's
Right.
the most profitable company in the country.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for the call. We're just about up to the end
You're
here.
welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. So I want to make sure Jim gets the information now. And do you have people calling you for tech advice and for like assembly advice and
I do. A lot of your listeners will call and say, I want to get an outside antenna. And you mentioned the markets of Marion, where they had an antenna for $49. Does that thing really work? And I'll say, yeah, it really works. It's got a built-in amplifier and things like that. And they'll buy it and they'll call me back and say, man, it was so easy to put up. And I've got like 45 channels. I said, yeah, it's very easy. So, like in your own house,
Well, the problem is you don't make any money with that information.
it's information is free. They're gonna find it whether they ask me or ask somebody else.
Yeah.
We are definitely in the information age. I can vouch for that.
So let's give out your number and
my
other
favorite
information.
segment.
And, yeah, I love this
I
segment.
love
too.
it. Every time I sit
Yeah.
with Jim, I learn something.
Yeah.
Number is 854-9795.
All right, Jim. Well, we won't see you till after Christmas. So have a
Right.
good Christmas.
Thank you.
And thank you for all you do. Jalen, you can stay with us next time. We got the
Yeah, why not?
rabbi coming in.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll be
Happy Hanukkah.
We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Nice day today with times of clouds and sun. The high 68 to 72. Partly cloudy tonight. Lows will range from the mid and upper 40s across the interior to about 54 along the coast. For tomorrow, intervals of clouds and sun and warmer. High 73 to 77. And on Sunday, mostly cloudy with a passing shower. High 74 to 78. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
This is James Snyder inviting you to join me each Sunday morning at 9:30 for Sunday Joy, right here on WOCA 1370.
Hi, this is Robin. May God's happiness, love, and joy be with you and yours this holiday season. Merry Christmas.
Fox News Radio. I'm Lillian Wu. The White House treating the hacking of Sony as a serious national security matter.
There is evidence to indicate that we have seen destructive activity with malicious intent that was initiated by a sophisticated actor.
Press Secretary Josh Earnest stopping short of casting blame, though U.S. officials have said the cyber attack has some hallmarks of North Korean involvement. Earnest says the U.S. will respond proportionally.
Fox Radio's Jared Halpern. A slick commute for some this morning.
Some winter weather advisories in effect early this morning across portions of New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania, and that's due to a little bit of freezing drizzle early this morning out there on the roadways. Heavy rain across portions of eastern Texas and Louisiana, so cities like New Orleans, conditions. And also in Houston, you're going to need that umbrella as you head out to work.
Fox meteorologist Maria Molina. And Britain ordering a review moving closer to allowing female soldiers to take a role in close combat on the front lines. Fox News. We report, you decide.
And now, a Golf Miss Carol brought to you by Golfsmith.
On the 12th day of golf, Miss my Golfsmith gave to me 12 Pro V1s, 11 Under Armours, 10 Golf Tech lessons, 9 Nike pants, 8 Bertha irons, 7 Golfsmith gift cards, 6 Garmin watches, 5 iron 2.
Come celebrate Golf Miss, happening right now only at Golfsmith.
These 2 Cleveland wedges and a tap-in birdie on a par 3.
Golfsmith, anything for golf.
I can't wait to give you your gift.
Me too. And I don't want to brag, but it's perfect. Like 4 million pixels perfect.
You got me a Samsung Galaxy Tab S? I thought we had a price limit.
It was on sale. I'm sure